My camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football pretty much 50-something odd weeks of the year. I like to say it's the podcast you love to hate, and boy, am I hating on a lot of things that happened yesterday as the Giants get embarrassed, flat out embarrassed in New Orleans, 26-14. But I do want to bring this to your attention. The kicker missed 2 field goals. It could have been 32-14. So let's not forget that. All right. It was not a great day for the New York Giants. Thanks for hanging out. I see you guys piling in the room. We got Ryan Dunleavy in the house. We got Joker in the house. And we got Chris producing today. So he's in the back. Guys, yesterday, major disappointment on many fronts, and we're going to get into it. 5 turnovers and 5 drives. That hasn't been done since 2016 with the Jets. WTF, killing me with this stuff, right? We'll get into studs and duds because there's plenty of duds, but we'll get into that. And let's bring in Sean. Where you at, Sean? Where are you?
Oh my goodness! Wait, what? We're first night as producer, and
I know, Chris. You got to hit it, Chris. You got to hit it.
When he says, "Where's Sean?" Yeah.
And here we go. You can call me Joker.
That's a lot better, right?
It's much better. Much better. That's it. He'll get it right. He's a rookie tonight. So, rookie mistake right there.
Yep. It's all good. but he's the master of the creative process, which we love.
Absolutely.
Dude, I'm not even going to ask you what you were thinking, what you're feeling, because right before we got on, you were already ranting and raving. So I'm going to let you hold on to that.
Okay.
Because we're going to bring in Mr. Dunleavy, who is now officially part of the Rush crew every single Monday. So we want to get him in here because guess what? I don't know crap because I wasn't in the locker room. But I'll tell you this, Sean. I did watch the game. Will tell you that even though when it was 14-3, something was still off. It still felt a little bit flat coming off that win. The only thing that was saving me was the fact that I felt like there was going to be more juice to come. Did you feel that way?
Yeah. I just I got excited. That's my problem. I got excited. I drunk the Kool-Aid after the first 2 drives. I'm like, oh man, we're hitting the tight ends. They're getting involved. They're doing this. They're doing that. And yeah, I should have known better. Up 14-0, No. Yep. It was all downhill after that. No points after that, my man. So.
No, it's all good. Well, I see you guys piling in. What's up, Caitlin? I see Lopez in the room. I see a bunch of you guys rolling in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Well, let's just bring in Ryan. I mean, there he is.
I like that intro.
Yeah. See, he got it right for you because he got it right. He did the timing perfect for you. That's all that matters.
I like that intro. I was thinking when you played that cool Joker clip, if there's any famous movie clips with Ryan in them, but no, that works. I like that.
Well, that's the one we're starting with for your kickoff with the Rush crew.
Right. I like it.
We got all season to work on it, man.
Yeah. Christian will look at some, but we'll get him on that for you.
All right. So we do this thing here, Ryan, called studs and duds, which we're going to do in a second here. And basically I'm going to give you're going to tell me what your stud of the game and your dud of the game. You can follow along. It's pretty simple. Let's Christian, hit me some studs and duds. Woo, love that piece. Thank you, Christian. Yeah. Studs and duds. Well, we always start every show off with studs and duds to try to give us a little bit of laughter. And of course, sometimes we cry, or maybe we cry more than we laugh. So, Sean, just plain out kicking it to you. Who there's not many of them. Who's your stud of the game?
I'm giving it to Theo Johnson, a guy that I've been talking about since they drafted him. I thought he could be a real weapon. He had what's hopefully going to be his breakout game. So 2 touchdowns. That second touchdown was a great catch by him in traffic. Not an easy catch to make at all. I like how he's involved with the passing game. Hopefully that'll continue moving forward and get him in. So yeah, he's getting my stud of the game.
I like it. Especially he seems like he's gaining a little bit of momentum with Dart, right? But you know me, I'm a Bellinger guy. I want to see Bellinger get more takes. They both looked pretty good yesterday. I'm going Scatterboo because I can't ask this kid to do any more than he's already doing. Right. 59 yards rushing, 45 yards receiving, and totally blew up the linebacker yesterday. Like to the point where what's that old quote? Play to the whistle ends.
Yeah, that was nice. That's what you want, right?
Yeah. So he's my stud. Because I literally can't ask this kid to do any more than he's doing. I mean, like outside of kicking field goals, this guy is basically doing everything. How about you, Ryan? I mean, I know you got to have some guy you're leaning on that, you're not throwing out the window.
So I'll give you 2. I mean, obviously the stud of the game is Theo Johnson, right? But since he was already, I mean, that's the clear stud of the game. 2 touchdowns. I was just looking up. I don't even know if Evan Ingram ever had a 2 touchdown game with the Giants. But if he's off the table and Scatterboo might actually be more of my dud than he is my stud, then I'll go with 2 guys. I'll go with Muasau, who had 9 tackles and 1 for loss. But I'll give you another one. How about he didn't have a big box score, but just for the slow progression, how about Darius Alexander, guys? He was a healthy.
Good call.
He was a healthy scratch week 1, and he has started the last 2 games. I'm looking for a snap. He played 27 snaps yesterday. They're desperate for somebody next to Dexter Lawrence. And he had the quarterback pressure, I believe, that forced the throw that became the Javon Holland interception that became nullified on the Deontay Banks pass interference. But if that interception counted, we'd be talking about the hit and the pressure from Darius Alexander. So how about a guy who had nothing, literally looked like, oh God, another Giants wasted 3rd-round pick in week 1. And I asked Bowen about it today, and I love Bowen. He's honest. He said, yeah, the best cherry, or the best whatever you call that, the best thing you can dangle in front of a player is you're not playing. Darius Alexander has responded the right way to his benching and come back really fired up. Bowen feels like they can count on him right now. So that's saying something in 5 weeks.
Especially when you think healthy scratches are just bizarre to begin with. And for a 3rd-round pick, they have to be a healthy scratch. No doubt that's a unique play. He's coming far quickly. Maybe it was what you said. You needed to dangle a little carrot in front of him to get him going.
That's the word. Thank you.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I'm here for. All right. I like it. I might have to ask you to define the Scatterboo thing as a dud, because I don't know what else I can ask him to do, but that's okay. It's funny. I've got so many duds in this game. I don't know where to go. But I'm gonna throw these out here, Sean and Ryan, and jump in and tell me if you think I'm off my rocker. So I don't want to be upset with this guy because he didn't have the box score that I wanted, but Tibbs had 1 tackle, and I was kind of I just thought he'd be a little bit more active coming off a good game last week. I thought the momentum would carry. And my biggest gripe with Tibbs all the time is that he just disappears. And having 1 tackle kind of just made me but he's not my true dud.
Okay, good.
My
because I would tell you you're off your rocker for that one.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed. I'm not completely off my rocker, but just my dud is going to be My dud's going to be Hyatt. And my dud's going to be Hyatt for a couple reasons.
Good
we
one.
talked about, Ryan, I tell this story, Ryan, and you probably already out of the press box when, maybe in between, like when there's timeouts, maybe you're writing stuff. Last year when they played Washington, I think it was Jones. Was it Jones or DeVito got hurt in the back end zone, right? And Neighbors is now on the sideline talking to what's his name, the quarterback for Washington. And why am I drawing Jane Daniels?
Daniels.
That play that the quarterback got hurt on was a long route by Hyatt. And he sauntered back to the huddle by walking through the Commanders' defense, like just as slow as could be, didn't care in the world, and then realized he was coming off the field and then walked off the field. And I was like, I've never seen a guy come back from a route walking through the other team's defense. It kind of set me like this guy just doesn't have any passion. He's soft. And then watching him just get all the snaps. He got all the snaps he wanted this weekend, did nothing. You watch Dart literally get blown up, and Hyatt doesn't block for him. You could see, that video is all over the internet on Dart running and just Hyatt standing there watching Dart get crushed. No 50-50 ball. That ball that goes up in the air, you don't see him go up for the ball. There's no heart or passion. He's completely my dud. I can't figure this cat out.
Neither can
Ryan, let Ryan go first this time in case I take his again.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Neither can they can't figure him out either. So no, you go first because I got about 3. So
okay, all right.
Because if you're gonna have me on for the rest of the season, let me just spoil. I'm gonna have a lot of duds.
Okay. I only got one. I got one, and I'm going with the obvious one.
I'm gonna have a lot. So why don't you go ahead?
Nice. Yeah, I'm going with Darius Slayton as my dud.
That's
for a number of reasons. I mean, that drop pass, good Lord. That changed the momentum of the game right there. And that's the ball you got to catch. No excuse for not catching that one. The fumble, again, just can't do it. And not only that, his blocking wasn't good yesterday either. There was a play that could have went for more yards and he just got blown up or the effort was not there. And what I don't like is, and this kind of transitions into something else too, but he's got no fire. I need him to have fire. You had an opportunity to step up and be the number 1 wide receiver. Malik Neighbors out. You put a tweet out to somebody in response to them calling you out, and you say, "How about what I did in the first 17 games or whatever it was?" He said, and then you lay a complete egg in your first opportunity to be a wide receiver 1. And not only that, let me add one more thing in there why he's the dud. So yes, Jackson Dart underthrew the deep ball to him on the flea flicker a little bit.
I was just about to say, I'm glad you didn't pin that on him. You're about to now pin it on him, aren't you?
Well, I'm not going to pin him on it completely, but he's got to make a better effort. And he's not a hands catcher. He's a body catcher. So he didn't go up to jump up and catch the ball with his hands. He tried to catch it with his body. Yeah. That's a ball. How many other receivers in this league do we see making that play or making a better effort on that ball? Right? Yes, it's underthrown, but it's not an uncatchable ball. Body catchers cannot do that, and he's a body catcher. And I've been saying that for years. Have I not, Craig?
Yep, you have.
So,
and if he wants that catch, he makes that catch. He just basically is like, I can't do it, so he doesn't.
Yeah, he went up like this to try to catch it. You're not going to catch that in a 50-50 ball like that.
That's why I said, Hyatt, the ball's in the air, dude. Go up and get it. You're supposed to be this third round. We moved up in the draft for you. And that's all he's looking for is a PI call. The heart out of those two guys is just it's disconcerting to me. But go all right. So are both wide receivers? We have 2 wide receivers that are.
I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a third one. I'm going to give an honorable mention dud. Not my dud of the game, but I'll give an honorable mention dud to Bo Collins because he quit on that. He quit on that. Quit might be the wrong word. He stopped on that play. Quit means he wasn't trying. I think he might have just been confused. We've seen the miscommunication in the preseason with Russell Wilson. Like, he just might not have a great grasp yet on the offensive playbook. And I get that, right? Like, he's being asked to do things shouldn't be being asked to do 5 games into his career. He's an undrafted rookie for a reason, right? So those guys take time to develop. But he just stopped on that route. So, like, that was bad. Cost your quarterback a pick. I'm going to say Banks. I'm going to give a second honorable mention to. He only played 8 snaps, right, on defense. Well, he mauled the guy for a pass interference. That is the most obvious pass interference I think I've ever seen. To take away an interception. That's 2 weeks in a row now. He's been involved with a interception off the board. 2 weeks ago, he had the pick, and then I've been looking for him in the locker room, and I haven't seen him. Because what I really want to know is, this goes back to the Chargers game, guys. He had the pick, and then it got taken away by Abdul Carter's penalty. And then, like, 2 plays later is when he bit on the stop-and-go route for the touchdown. And I want to know if in his mind he was thinking, like, I just got a pick taken away from me. Let me go get another one. Yeah. You know, and I don't even really fault that. Like, that's an aggressive mindset. Like, but, like, I think that was like you're not going to take that pick away from me kind of thing. And that's why he got victimized. But I don't know that because he hasn't been around to ask. But he had that. And then another play going around on social media with him is the kick return. He's been good as a kick returner.
But the block, you need the block.
But the one where Gunner's returning it. And again, did he quit? Like, you're putting somebody in an unfamiliar spot, right? Like, coaches always say, I'm not going to ask guys to do what they can't do. And then they always ask guys to do what they can't do. So, like, I'm not putting it totally on Banks because, like, he's in an unfamiliar spot. But it either looks like he gave up on the play, which I wouldn't say if he didn't have a history of giving up on plays. Once you do that, that follows you for your career. Sorry. Or he didn't know what he was supposed to do on the play, which is coaching. I asked Gabriel about it today. Gabriel said he didn't quit on the play. It's about the learning curve. It's about, you got to learn not just what to do as the returner, but as the off returner. And he went out of his way to say, like, Deontay's a headsy player who'll fix it quickly. Well, that's not how Jerome Henderson felt. So, I mean, Jerome Henderson's not here, so Michael Gabriel might have, he might have just got a year extension for that answer. But very, very questionable. And then go ahead, and then I'll give you my actual.
I was going to say, I'm going to double down on that with you because here's the thing. You can't tell me, if you watch that play, as minute Gunner catches that ball, Banks is out front balling. He is burning to blow somebody up for Gunner. If he didn't know what he was doing, Gunner would have blown by him and he would have been standing still. He's out in front as the lead blocker. He knew he was supposed to be the lead blocker until he realized he actually had to hit somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird play.
I mean, I've seen him make blocks, but listen, I'm going more with the fact he didn't know what he needed to do because he is not the most football IQ person out there. Let's call it what it is. So that's
he's an athlete. He's an athlete.
Yes.
I just figured, Sean, if there's 2 guys standing in front of you wearing different colored jerseys,
he probably didn't know which one to block. He didn't block either one. Yeah, that's my take.
Just hit one.
I know. I can't wait to hear who's Ryan's dud is after the first 2 names he gave.
Look, it's Scattaboo. My jaw dropped when you said he was your stud of the game. So you're driving for the game-winning TD or the go-ahead TD,
I know.
And you fumble in the red zone. Then there's video of you asking for different gloves. It makes it look like you're blaming the gloves or the equipment guy. I don't love that as a look. You had 4 fumbles at Arizona State last year. So clearly this is something that's, hounded you. So you got to work on your ball security. I get you want to, it's great video. It's great content when we see you bowling over that linebacker. That was a crazy play, that block that he threw on that linebacker. Yeah. He buried that guy in the ground. But that stuff's all fun and good when you're making the fundamental play. You got to hold on to the ball. I'd rather you hold on to the ball than knock that linebacker over. That's a killer fumble in the red zone. And then, again, I don't know this, but Andrew Thomas is probably the smartest football player I've been around, maybe the smartest non-quarterback I've been around in my career. So there's that play where Dart gets blown out from behind. Yeah. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Andrew Thomas, who, if I ask Andrew Thomas, I'll probably fall on the sword and say it was his fault. But I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Andrew Thomas that he blocked the right guy and Scadaboo didn't. So he got his quarterback drilled in the back. So again, part of this is he's a rookie. He's not supposed to be a 90% carry back. It's supposed to be him and Tyrone Tracy in a shared backfield. You have a $6 million a year backup in Devin Singletary, who you never play. So, like, again, part of this is you're putting rookies in spots too early in their career that they're not ready for. So, like, it almost feels unfair to blame the player, but that's where the Giants are.
All right, I like it. And,
coming in hot with the dud. I mean, Ryan wasted no time. First week on this show, comes in giving it to the rookie. Gotta love it.
So, and it's interesting too, because it makes a lot of sense, right? It's not like you can deny any of that what happened. It's just, to me, it feels like there's so many other dudes that needed to step up that didn't.
I mean, it's Slayton. It's Slayton. Just like
obviously, right. But I took it. I gave you the opportunity. I was going to let you go first so you could have Slayton.
Slayton had the worst game of his career. Slayton had the worst game of his career at the worst time. Like, I mean, that's everybody's eyes were on. Everybody's eyes were on him. Can he, be the number one receiver? Can he take some of the pressure off? And he had the worst game of his career. So I've never seen him. We've seen him drop passes at inopportune times in his career, but I've never seen him have, like, I don't know, mental lapses or whatever like that. Like, he doesn't have the greatest hands. That's, like you said, he's a body catcher, but he doesn't make me. One of the reasons, let me tell you this. One of the reasons Darius Slayton is on this team, one of the reasons he was re-signed to a contract that size, is because this offense is incredibly complex for receivers. By NFL standards, this is one of the most complex offenses a receiver can run, okay? He's on this team. One of the reasons is because he understands the offense so well that he's like a translator to everybody else. So for him to have mental lapses is very unusual. I know people are killing him, uncharacteristic. He makes mistakes. I don't see it. Like, he's not as productive as he was earlier in his career, but he is not, to me, a very a mental lapses player at all.
No, I'd agree with that. The drops and the other things, yes, that's characteristic of him.
But that's part of his catching stuff. That's part of his catching.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's why
I agree with the smart part of it. Yeah, for sure.
That's why he is a historical number 2 or number 3. He's a point and shoot type wide receiver. He doesn't have he's not a 50-50 guy, right? He's not a what are you doing with your hands? He's not
a 2 or a 3. He's a 3 or a 4.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, I wouldn't put him as far as a 4, because, like, those guys
I would.
But he's a 3. That's probably what he is. He's a 3 on a good team, a 2 on a bad team. That's what
let's go higher up the chain here. Because I don't want to swear on my own show, but I got freaking problems with what's going on big picture. Let's talk big picture for a second, right? I'm going to put this banner up here. All right. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. And I just want both of you to bear with me. So, and Sean, you and I have already talked about this a couple times, because I know you can't stand Kafka and I can't stand Bowen. But I like the fact that Ryan's telling you, like, hey, he's a pretty honest guy. He's going to give you what's on his mind. Here's my thing. The Giants can't win any games without Neighbors. There's no threat downfield. There's more guys that are going to be in the box. You're taking away anything that Scadaboo can do, or Tracy when he comes back, or Singletary. Like, the offense is basically, you're basically saying for the rest of the season, you're going to have 17 points again. Like, that's it. Without Neighbors, because Neighbors has so many intangibles, right? He's drawing doubles. He's got a 50-50 ball, body control, catch radius, speed, right? Yeah. He does all that. So do we just limp into this 3-win season again? Or do we try to win football games and pull this franchise out of the basement, right? And something dramatically needs to be done. And I'm sticking, and I know where you're going to go, Sean, but Bowen just, like this week, he really should have said in his meetings, guys, the offense is without Malik Neighbors. It is our biggest weapon. We are going to step up and play such an aggressive style defense. We're going to make this 0-10 quarterback cry. That should have been his only statement. And I don't care what happens on the back end. We're going to hit this kid so many times. We're going to send 4. We're going to send 5. And you know what he sends me? You ready? This is what he sends me. Carter's at 69% snaps. Tibbs at 62% snaps. Dexter, I know he was sick all week. 47% of the snaps. What is he holding these guys back for? Like every one of these guys, Ryan, to me, feels like they feel like their job is so secure that if they win 3 games, they're coming back. That's how they coach. And I'm saying the defense needs to turn it up a notch and play with reckless abandon and impose their will on a guy like Spencer Rattler. Fire Bowen.
Go ahead, Ryan. You want to respond to that one? And then you can hit me up after.
here's my response to that, okay?
I know you like him.
It's not even about liking him. I mean, I liked Wink Martindale. He got fired. I like Drew Wilkins. He got fired. I like Jerome Henderson. He got fired. Basically, everybody I like gets fired. So,
no, it's you.
So here's what I'll say. Okay, in the here and now moment,
yeah,
I understand blaming Shane Bowen for yesterday's performance. Okay, but you like. They weren't good yesterday. I understand everything you just said. It all makes sense to me. Pummel the 0-10 quarterback into submission. Totally agree. I think their game plan was to get the ball out super quickly. Okay, so now you're not going to be able to get 20 quarterback hits, but then you know what? Then rally to make them throw short passes, rally to the ball, whatever. I get it. But you used 2 words 5 minutes ago that I think are important. Big picture, okay? I am so tired of I watch I'm technically an NFL reporter at the Post, so I watch all the games, right?
Yeah, sure.
The Giants are playing a different sport offensively than like 20 of these teams in the NFL, right?
Thank you.
So I get it. Like the defense has more talent. The expectation is higher for them. So when they don't reach it, it's like disappointing. But like to blame the defense is just to accept, well, the offense stinks. So like they're only going to get 17 points. Why? Why can they only get 17 points in today's NFL? I don't understand it. Like 2 years ago, they were 30th in points scored. Then they were 31st in points scored. So they changed the quarterback. So they brought in a new quarterback. They benched that quarterback. Now it's the rookie quarterback. They had Kafka calling plays. Then it's Daboll calling plays. Now it's Kafka calling plays. Like, at what point is it like, wow, we hired an offensive coach and a quarterback guru. He hired his offensive coordinator, who seemingly everybody wants to interview as their head coach. We have changed quarterbacks. We brought in this top receiver. Why can't we score? Like at some point, I'm just done finger pointing at Jerome Henderson, at Wink Martindale, at every defensive coach who walks through that building. I'm just done. I'm done finger pointing at the defense. I want to know why in today's NFL, the Giants can't score points.
That's a great point. I feel the same way, Ryan, which leads me to the point of, I'm not necessarily saying that Kafka should be fired, but if it gets him stop calling plays, you got to do what you got to do. But he should be demoted from calling plays because he has
plays.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Yeah, I know where you're going to go.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Daboll absolutely called better plays last season. I know the results. I know what the stats say. I know all of that, but the stats do not tell the story of what went on last year. We know, and I'm not blaming just the quarterback last year, but there was a lot of open guys. There was a lot of NFL analysts, a lot of NFL people who say Daboll was doing a great job of scheming guys open. Not only that, the other reason, if you're going to go on your own friggin' terms. To me, and listen, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but what people don't realize about Mike Kafka and a lot of reasons why he's got the Mahomes things that's getting him opportunities for sure, but he's also
Allen thing. That's what got him an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. But Kafka also meets the Rooney Rule, and not a lot of people realize that. So that helps with that too. So, and that's not directed at you, Ryan, with your point of that. It's just I don't think a lot of people know that. But what my biggest problem with Mike Kafka is he doesn't have a feel for the game. He is just everything's got to be scripted. He can't go off script. He doesn't see what's going on. And I'll give you the best example of this. They come out in the first play of the game. They throw a little like swing pass to Wan'Dale Robinson, right? They come out in the second half. What do? They call the same play. The only thing that changes is they go to the other side of the field and they throw it to Theo Johnson instead of Wan'Dale Robinson. That's the best you can come up with when you got 15 minutes to prepare. And it's not the first game that's happened. Every second half first play. So I don't feel, and it's part of the game plan. And you come out the first 2 drives and the tight ends are killing it. How many catches did the tight ends have the rest of the game? And yes, we had 5 turnovers. I get it. All the fans saying, well, you turn the ball over. They were moving the ball. Yes, but as soon as Slayton has his drop, as soon as momentum swings, go back to what was working. That is the feel of the game. He's got zero feel of the game. He's an intelligent man. When you hear him talk, when he goes into spaces, extremely intelligent, but he's too robotic. That's my issue with him. So yes, I don't want him calling plays anymore.
So here, let me say a couple things. One, I'm not advocating for either of those guys to be fired, Bowen or Kafka. I just don't think it does anything to. I'd have to go back. You guys would have to tell me, or I'll have to do research. I just don't think firing a coordinator midseason. I feel like it rarely changes anything, especially for a team that's not very good. Like, yeah, I guess if I had Josh Allen, I could make that argument. But
sure.
But a couple things. One. If you asked me coming into this season when I thought the Giants offense was the most productive, I would have said Kafka the first year when they went to the playoffs. I thought that's when they had the most diverse schemes. That's when they were most opponent specific. So you said Daboll last year scheming guys. I actually thought it was Kafka. Respectfully, I disagree. That doesn't mean I'm right. Could have been Daboll last year. Kafka the playoff year, maybe because they won. I just thought they looked so different week to week. That's why I was in favor of Kafka taking it back over this year. It obviously hasn't carried over. But guys, let's get one thing straight here too. We've now talked about should they fire Kafka or Bowen. I don't think they should fire either. We've danced obviously around whether Daboll's job here is in job security. It obviously is. But also, like, how about the players that they're playing with? Like, some of this falls on Joe Shane too, guys. Like, let's not let Joe Shane off the hook because he doesn't show up on Sunday. Like, it was his choice to take the 30th scoring offense 2 years ago and the 31st scoring offense last year and bring back 10 of 11 starters and just change the quarterback and be convinced that the quarterback was the entire problem with the offense and that would be fixed. And, oh, by the way, the quarterback is now awesome. So that clearly was not the problem with the offense. Okay. So like that, let's not sell short the idea of the personnel being part of this problem.
Absolutely.
And some Giants fan, I forget who, I apologize if you're listening. If somebody else listens, shout this guy out. I think it is true. Some Giants fan tweeted yesterday that the only 2 free agent skill players that Joe Shane has added that are still on the roster right now in free agency are Chris Manhertz and Devin Singletary. Is that true? Like, if that's true, I can't think of it. Like, so. The other guys are drafted or
does Gunner count
or inherited? So, huh?
Does Gunner count?
No, Gunner doesn't play offense. He doesn't get a single offense.
I'm saying because last year he was getting some snaps. But
yeah, you're talking about offense. So Ryan, I want to ask you. I want to follow up on something you said with Shane because I do agree, bears some responsibility, and I know you tweeted about this earlier, and I want to kind of follow up. So when it comes to game day roster decision making, you said it's you had asked Daboll, whoever, and it's him, the coordinators, and Shane. Who has the final say though?
I didn't tweet this, but the position coaches too.
Okay, the position coach. Okay. So who has the final say though? Because some of these and I've been saying it since they've been here, make zero sense on what they do. You go with 2 running backs, right? You bring up 4 tight ends. I get it because you think you're going to throw the tight ends a lot. You get away from that. But I just don't understand the game day roster decision. So who has the final say? Who do you get a sense of who has the final say? I know they say it's all share and they all kind of collaborate, but who has
That's
the
what they
final
say.
say?
That's what they say. My sense is it's stable. My sense is it's stable. But to a degree, when your boss says it's your decision at your job, when your boss says it's your decision, but you know what your boss wants, like it's hard to ignore their influence, even if it's your butt on the line. And I think that's why Brian Daboll made such a point 2 weeks ago of saying my decision, my decision, my decision, my decision when he changed quarterbacks, is because he wanted you to know, like, not everybody agreed, but this was me. So if this works, it was me. And if it doesn't, I'll fall on the axe.
I'll fall on the sword, yeah.
Fall on the sword. Thank you. So my point being, I think it's Daboll, but Shane's voice is certainly heard. And whenever this regime is over, one of their tombstone lines will be that they consistently struggled to manage the game day roster. Like Graham Gano having no kicker, blah, 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 like whatever it is. The game day roster, which is like something I've never even thought twice about, is something they struggle so much with.
So let me jump in there for a second too on something that you said. I wrote it down. And this is kind of what my original point was about the defense in Bone, which is circling back to your offense. If you don't fix the offense, which we all agree they did not, right? Didn't really upgrade the offensive line, really didn't add those skill players like you just mentioned, right? You didn't upgrade the wide receiver position. So the offense, like you're going into 2025, and correct me if I'm wrong, but just kind of riffing off of what you just said, you're kind of going in, bringing back, what was it, 10 starters?
Yeah, everybody but the quarterback.
So that statement alone says, I'm okay with the talent that I have on the offensive side of the ball. If that's how you're approaching the season, and we all know that there is a lot of challenges with bringing back guys that didn't have success, that would lead me to believe, and I apologize, I did get hit in the head a lot in college, so maybe it's the concussions kicking in here, but to me, that's a statement saying we're a work in progress on the offensive side because we're going to work in these rookies, running back, rookie quarterback, but my defense is going to be so good that we can win games with the turnover ratio, sacks, pressures, and that's what we're going to live on in 2025 to win 8 games. So, if, to me, again, maybe I'm reading into it, but if you're going into the season like that, your defensive coordinator should have his pants or his hair on fire every single Sunday. Not the heroin drip that dude is on. That's all I'm saying, is that he should be throwing the kitchen sink, using a cliche here, because he knows that the season started off with, hey, we're going to do 70% of these games are going to be one on defense, 30% of them are going to be one on offense, and we're going to groom these new cats. That's why I said I'm pissed at Bowen, because somewhere, unless Daboll didn't tell him, but you got to be able to look at the Giants and go, they're built to play defense. So where is the, pants on fire, hair on fire defense? I'm not making an excuse, though, for offense. I'm not making an excuse.
No, I get it. Like, I think that's fair. Like, you're saying the expectations are up here and they're not being met. My point is, like, the offensive expectations are here and they're not being met.
No, but you and I both probably expected that. The offense was like work in progress.
Why is it okay? Yeah, I expected it, but it's not okay.
It's not okay.
I expected them to suck on offense again. Doesn't mean that it's okay that they suck on offense.
No. And you know what? That's awesome. Right. And I love you said that, because that's the thing. That's where Giants fans are. Like, it's not okay, but we're like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, but like the defense I had high expectations for. So it's like more of a gut punch to me that but but like in almost any given day, the defense outperforms the offense.
Yes. But and Sean, I always saying, I'm like, dude, just stop punching me in the face already, right? Like it's always like just go out there and just play crazy good defense, and then it won't feel as like I'm bleeding out on offense.
I don't want to criticize Giants fans because I get it, okay? But I also kind of feel I also kind of feel like Giants fans expect defense to be played like it was in 1986. It's really hard to play good defense in today's NFL. Like it's not gonna look like it did with LT or even with Strahan. Like it's just not gonna look like that anymore. No. Like I was talking to Ron Rivera before the start of the season for a piece I did on how hard it is to play good defense, and he said to me, like, the 1985 Bears that he played on would laugh at some of the measurements he had for good defense his last year as a head coach, like the amount of yards and points. Like, if his last year as a head coach, it was like, if we give up 20, that's good defense. The 85 Bears would have been like 20. Like, what? Like, if we give up 7, that's a bad game. Like, so, like, I kind of feel like Giants fans, their whole identity is defense. And like they want it to be like that. And that's just not how it is anymore. Today's modern NFL, you start at the 35-yard line after a touchback, you get 2 first downs, and the kicker makes a 60-yard field goal. So like it's very hard to get stops.
Do you like that about the game? Because I hate it.
No, it sucks.
No, it's terrible.
It sucks.
It's terrible. Let me jump in and let me ask this too, Ryan, because one of the things, since we're talking defense, but it's also an issue I've had on the offense the last couple of years too, is I don't understand their rotations of subbing guys in and what they do. It doesn't make sense. Like Bowen said something about like with Dexter Lawrence, like we wanted to save him for the fourth quarter. And like, dude, you're assuming that the game's going to be close in the fourth quarter. So you're saving him for that. Like, why not get the most out of them early on and dominate the game and not have to worry about some of the rotations just don't make sense to me of what they do. Even in the first couple games, they're like, we're trying to keep guys fresh. Like, are you trying to keep guys fresh? Are you trying to win games? Like maybe you can shed a little more light into that of the mindset. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, do you want to win games or do you want to are you more focused on rotations? And the second part of that, Ryan, is, and as somebody who coached in college, is that falling solely on Bowen? Or is it falling on the assistants under him for rotating the guys? Because a lot of times that's what the assistants do. They'll rotate guys in.
Yeah, I think I mean, I think it's more of a case-by-case basis. Like Andre Patterson is in charge of the defensive line rotation. He has that responsibility as the resume. He has that. Dexter Lawrence's snap count yesterday is very specific to the fact that he was under the weather even yesterday, didn't practice at all. Kind of was gutting through that game. I wouldn't put too much on. Wouldn't put too much on. Yes, he was sick. So so I would not put too much into that. I mean, I know he's playing 70% or whatever when he usually plays 80%, but
47
even
actually.
Even Dexter said to me something this, like, he wants to be a more efficient, he wants to play a more efficient, whatever it is, 50 snaps instead of a less efficient 60 snaps, So I think on a case-by-case basis. So like the Thibodeau, Burns, Carter rotation is about fresh legs. It's also about massaging egos, right? You're used to 3 guys who are used to being on the field for every single snap. So you gotta find a way to get them. Like, you got to find a way to get them in to buy into coming off the field. So like, hey, you're going to play some snaps in your best spots, some snaps here to help the team. Then we're going to give you a quick blow. You're going to be better when you go back to rushing the passer. So like, I get that. That's a hard look. That's something that whether you're coaching college and coaching high school, you don't really have to worry about egos. Well, Charlie Bullen has to worry about $142 million Brian Burns' ego. You know what I mean? So
right.
There's that. But the head scratching rotation is the Banks Flott rotation. And that's not position coach. That's Bowen, Dayball, maybe Shane. That's a high level decision to rotate those 2 guys. And that is the one that makes 0 sense to me.
Right. I agree with that.
Because you can watch the NFL. Like Myles Garrett doesn't play 100% of the snaps. Like defensive linemen don't play 100% of the snaps.
No.
Linebackers do sometimes. Edge rushers, no. Safeties and corners pretty much play 100% of the snaps. So when you're rotating out your number 2 corner, that's the one that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Let's talk about the offense a little bit here, since we're on that train a little bit. No neighbors, no threat is what I like to call this. So, look, everybody wants to see winning football. Everybody's working to win football games, but the team, Ryan and Sean, I'll start with you. Okay. Like, there's no look. The stats right here: Wandale, 30 yards for 5 catches. Slayton, 31 yards for 3 catches. Like, you can't win football games like that, right? So are we just going to limp into this rest of this season, or is someone going to make a change?
No, I highly, yeah. Go ahead,
I think you're going to limp through the rest of the season like this. I mean, like, you'll get little Jordan Humphrey up, or maybe they'll sign, Isaiah Hodgins off the Steelers practice squad, or some Isaiah Hodgins replica from somebody else's practice squad. But look, you're not making a big trade. You're 1-5. You're not making a big, or 1-4. You're 1-4 about to be 1-5.
Yeah.
You're not making a big trade, so you're not going to get like insert, Jacoby Myers or something. You're not going to do that for a 1-4, 1-5 team. There's no like great free agent sitting on the free agent market. If you sign Odell Beckham, that's just about like a homecoming so fans can wear his jersey again. He doesn't have anything left. So like,
and that still may be more than what we have.
Just gonna limp. You're just gonna limp. That's the answer. You're just gonna limp and hope guys play better than they've been able to play so far. You're just gonna hope that opportunity turns into magic.
Man.
Well, I mean, here's what I would say. You got to utilize, and listen, Hodgins makes sense because he did well when he was here. I still don't understand why they didn't utilize him, why he was gone. Like, he was a great route runner, great hands. He understood the offense. He understood how to get open in space. And the other thing is, utilize guys. Like, if you got 2 speed guys in Hyatt and Slayton, give them the ball. Like, do a jet sweep with them. Like, throw them a quick slant. Like, they're just only throwing the deep ball to them. Like, utilize what these guys can do. And then, again, you're going to see a lot of 12 personnel, I would imagine, maybe game-by-game basis. But they just got to make some sort of adjustment. And we coming up. And I need to see changes. I really need some sort of adjustment. I need to see you've learned something from this. Something's got to change. I know we're not going to get big changes, Ryan. I get that.
Yeah.
But you got to say you learned from that game and you're going to do something, like adapt, right? Like,
they made a big change. They went to 2 tight end personnel. So that's a big change for the offense. It didn't work.
Yeah.
That was their big change. Everybody thinks we're going to play Hyatt and Bo Collins. No, we're going 2 tight ends. And it's like, that was their change, and it didn't work. So now
in the first half though, Ryan, the tight ends looked good. Second half,
they got away from it.
They just got away from it. Yeah.
They got away from
it. That's the future of the NFL, or the present / like immediate future is the 2 tight end offense replacing that's where the NFL is going. That's the Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, Tyler Ward. Like, that's the NFL is going to 2 tight ends, less 3 receivers. So like, would you rather have 2 guys better than like Daniel Bellinger and Theo Johnson? Maybe, but like, you might be better off with those guys on the field than what the Giants have as their 3rd receivers.
Absolutely.
Problem is that Thursday they're not even going to have Darius Slayton. That's the problem here, guys. If we're talking so much big picture, we're not even talking about Thursday. You're going to have no neighbors and no Slayton. So like, now you're going to have my lead in tomorrow's paper is something like, can they put 4 tight ends on the field? Like, you might have Wandale Manhurts, Bellinger, Theo. And like, who do they have a 4th tight end on the practice squad?
Fedone.
Somebody like
Fedone.
Yeah,
Fedone.
Fedone. Good red zone target, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, put Fedone on the field too.
I mean, the league has adapted. Defense scores have adapted. But it's not going to be as much high score unless you're not playing good defense. They're playing two high safeties a lot. So yeah, tight ends make sense. Middle of the field makes sense against that defense.
And they're
You
also
just
putting
can't
a
throw the
lot
ball
of
deep.
teams live in nickel and dime. So you put the extra
Yeah.
big guy on the field, and it's easier to run the ball. So
Yep.
But the Giants
Absolutely.
didn't think you need. But the Giants didn't think you needed a running back. Never mind.
I was. You were good. You were good.
I made it 50 minutes and 32 seconds.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
For a Saquon reference. So
yeah, and you didn't even say his name. That was the best part. Until now, you said his name. That was good,
Very
Ryan.
impressive. Hey guys, so how about Dart? Right, Dart goes 26 for 40 in his second game, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a fumble. He is a rookie. You know, Ryan, I don't know if you were on with us earlier in the year. I've watched a lot of Ole Miss football because my son really likes Dart. So we've been watching him since he was at USC. Sean, I've told you I didn't think he was quite ready, but he's got the moxie, but he's got bad habits that need to be worked on. One of them is thinking he's a linebacker, right? And not sliding and taking guys on. But, you know, Sean, what's your opinion on what you see after 2 games? Don't get me wrong. Nobody likes interceptions and fumbles, but, you know,
one wasn't
is going to happen.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. He's a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. The fumble was a fluke thing. Yes, he's got to protect the ball better. He's got to hold it like a running back once he starts scrambling. I get that. He did slide yesterday, which I liked, but I like what he said too. And this is what a leader should do of the football team. If he's close, if he's in the red zone or if he's close to a first down marker, he's not going to slide. He's going to try for the end zone. He's going to try a first down. That's exactly what you want. Yes, his footwork, the underthrown ball was because he didn't step into the throw enough. So we know that's part of his development. He's got to get better at his footwork, his mechanics. But what I like, and Ryan, I want to get your take because you're in the locker room, you're around these guys a lot. So there's a few guys on defense that I would say I would call dogs, right? On offense, we have 2. Now, Andrew Thomas is just a stud, but he doesn't have the fire. He's just a damn good football player. So I'm not taking him out like, I know he's a silent assassin is what I view as Andrew Thomas, right? 2 guys on that offense that are leading that offense are Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo with their fire, their passion, their energy. Why can't we get more guys on offense to have that same mindset? Like, why is it so laid back? Is that the coaches? Is that the players? Like, we just need more of that. Am I wrong in thinking that if we had more Dart and Scatterbo types, we'd be a lot better off? And why don't we have that?
No, I don't think you're wrong about that. I think that Dart so far has been exactly as advertised. There's some footwork things that need to be cleaned up, but you can clean that up. He doesn't have a great arm. He has a good arm. He doesn't have a great arm. You saw that on the flea flicker. His moxie is tremendous. Asking you the thing I'm most impressed with so far in 2 games might be the way he handled the post game yesterday, where he was like, you know, this is unacceptable. It ends here. It starts with me. I'm a leader. Like all that stuff. Sign me up for that. Like I'm a shill for that stuff. Like I love that kind of like, we're not tolerating this. I can't tell you how many times in 8 years I've asked a player, like, why doesn't anybody flip a table in this locker room? Like, why doesn't anybody ever just like slam something down? Like, why can't you just be
mad? Somebody get mad.
Even if it's just for show. And they always are like, you see that in movies. That doesn't really happen in locker rooms. Like, well, maybe the movies are right. Like,
Ryan, we saw Shockey fight Brandon Short on the first day he was in camp.
Like, we saw James Hudson fight Brian Burns. That didn't really. I don't need them fighting each other. I just want somebody to just like put their, like Odell Beckham put his fist through a wall in Green Bay, right? Like,
right. Yep.
Like,
agreed.
They don't have that. And to answer your question, Sean, I kind of think like the 2 guys you mentioned are rookies. I kind of think the word culture is overused in sports, but I kind of just think it's the losing culture. Like, I just kind of think these guys have been around so many losses that like they've almost forgotten how to have fun, how to win, how to like, they've had the joy sucked out of them. And like part of that I don't know if it's not the coach, right? Because it's been through Dable and Shermer and Judge. It's been through,
Right.
Eli had his ho-hum way of doing it, and Daniel Jones had his robotic way of doing it. And like maybe now there'll be more of that because the quarterback says it's okay. Like Jackson Dart says that's okay. So
Yeah.
now you can do it because he does it. But like Daniel Jones was the most like robotic person in the world. So nobody was gonna go against the quarterback and have that fiery emotion when he didn't. So
and it doesn't help that you lose Neighbors because Neighbors was kind of on
Neighbors
that
has that. Yeah.
Neighbors, right. Yeah.
He's the
Neighbors
dog.
tolerates nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the first paragraph of my colleague Paul Schwartz's story today. I thought this summed it up so well. Nice. He was in the locker room yesterday. I wasn't. He was in the locker room. Okay. The room was filled with players who have been there, done this before. Losing comes naturally to these Giants. They do it so often, so methodically, so predictably that even when an unusual series of particularly heinous events comes together to doom them, there is no great sense of astonishment at how everything went so badly. Like they turned the ball over 5 times. That's like unprecedented, 5 times in a row. And there's just another loss. Like, that's not shocking.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that way though? I know he says that. Do you feel that?
I wasn't in yesterday's locker room, but I do feel like to Sean's point about why isn't there more fire? I do feel like the losing has just worn down the core of this team. So, you know who doesn't tolerate it? Dexter Lawrence doesn't tolerate it. Like, his blood is boiling. His blood is boiling at what his career is becoming here. So,
he's one of the guys that I thought of on defense. Brian Burns is that guy that's like fiery.
I agree. But it's so hard for anybody to make a difference, right? Like that's why it has to start with the quarterback, and that's why I think Jackson Dart being that way is such a good thing for the Giants because Daniel Jones, again, he's playing really well in Indy, but he's not that way even in Indy right now. Like that's just not who he is, and the quarterback sets the tone for everything. Like Brian Burns is a really good player, and to your point, he's a fiery player, right? Let me tell you what Brian Burns' career record is. 27-75. So
and he still brings it.
And he's good. It's hard for one defensive end to make a difference. It just is. So like you need your quarterback to have it, and their quarterback has it. So if he can play, then they'll all kind of develop the Jackson Dart edge.
Okay. Can they, let me ask you, and I don't even have a little banner to pop up there, but like can they actually pivot at all, Ryan? When you're in, like, is a conversation like, all right, these are the cards that were dealt. Like you said, they're so used to losing. Someone has to pivot. Yes, you got Scatterboo, and yes, you got oh, that's pretty good, Chris. That was smooth. Can they pivot to doing something different, right? Can they start getting some momentum? Now, I know you didn't see them win a lot of games in the beginning of the year, but can they create some type of mojo with what they have by just trying something new? Like I said, going to tight ends.
No, I mean, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times. Like, no, I mean, this is the 8th year I've covered them. They've been bad for 7 of the 8 years. They won 6 or less games 7 of the 8 years. Like they've been in this spot. Here's the crazy stat. Other than the year they went to the playoffs, they've had 2 wins or less at Halloween every year I've covered them. So like they've been in this spot 7 times before, and I've never seen them pivot to do anything else. So I have no reason to think, I have no reason to think that they're going to be, I have no reason to think the answer to your question is yes. I'd have to see it before I said yes. And then even if I saw it, I wouldn't believe it wasn't a mirage.
All right. Sean, so where do they go from here then, Sean? Thursday's the Eagles. Where do they go?
Listen, I'm an optimistic person, but even I'm not optimistic. I think it's going to be a bloodbath on Thursday. Like I don't think
Thursday has a chance. Thursday has a chance to be a really, really bad day for the Giants.
It could get everybody fired. That's how bad it could be.
I know.
Yeah, no, I know.
But it could make for a lot of really uncomfortable days inside the field.
Yeah.
I won't say fired because the Giants really don't fire coaches during the season. McAdoo being the exception.
Right.
But it could make some people really uncomfortable. The day is going to start with a Saquon documentary on Amazon. I've seen it. It's heavy on contract talks. It starts with that. It's going to continue into a game against an Eagles team that you're catching them at the wrong time. They need a get-right game. They have upset receivers. They're coming off a loss. You have a short week for you to get ready, followed by a long week of getting beat over the head by what happened in the Eagles game. If you lose that game like 30-10, that's going to be some really uncomfortable. I'm not saying anybody's getting fired, but there could be some really uncomfortable conversations in the building if they get blown out Thursday.
Dang. There's a lot of doom and gloom, man. 8 penalties for 95 yards. That did not help them either.
Nope.
5 fumbles.
Hey, I'm the doom and gloom guy. You guys wanted me on. I'm Mr. Doom and Gloom.
And I'm not right. It's perfect. And I'm not normally doom and gloom either. But I mean, any given Sunday. But I don't know about any given Thursday.
Well, that's true. Here's
right?
what I'll say. I had this conversation with my boss today. The any given Sunday thing is true. Like the Giants beat the Chargers. The Patriots beat the Bills. Like any given Sunday is true. Any given season is not true. Like the Giants are going to win probably 4 games. Like, so could they beat the Eagles? Sure. But they're not going to then win 9 games. Okay. They're just going to that'll be one of their 3 wins. Like they'll just, I don't know where their 3 wins are. Could they beat the 49ers? Sure. And then you'll be like, yeah, any given Sunday, they were a 10-point underdog and they beat the 49ers. But then they're just going to come back and lose like they did to the Saints. They'll beat the 49ers and then they'll lose to the Raiders. So like any given Sunday is possible. You don't know what could happen on any given Sunday, but for the most part, the Bills are going to be 14-3 and the Giants are going to be 4-13.
Is this a Dable thing? At this
point?
It's
no. To me, it's so far beyond who, like, this regime just hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked. So like, is it a Dable? I mean, people would have told you it was a Joe Judge thing, and then they brought a Dable, and this hasn't worked. It's all like, I don't know what it is. I honestly don't. The place might be built on an ancient burial ground. I really don't know. Like, I really don't know.
12 years. 12 years is the same thing, right?
I really don't know what it is. They would have told you it's the quarterback. It's not the quarterback. They would have told you it's the coach. It's not the coach. They would have told you it was the GM. Gettleman's terrible. Well, Gettleman's teams were just as good as Joe Shane's teams. So, like, they would have told you it was that. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I wish I had an answer for you.
What's up with Tracy? Is he on his way back?
If it was Sunday, I think he would play. I don't know about Thursday. If it was if he had a full week, I'd say he'd be back this week. Thursday could be tight. We'll see. You'll know more tomorrow.
Where are they on the injury front?
Today. So,
where are they on the injury front? Anybody specifically stick out?
Slayton. It's going to be hard for him to play.
And Dex's elbow, not bad?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I'm thinking that maybe the Giants could, if they can hold their own. There's some fighting over here in my neck of the woods with the Eagles right now. AJ Brown not happy. A lot of things are stirring up over here. And even if they lose, they're only going to see the Eagles in 2 weeks. Maybe they can figure something out for the second time around. Who knows? Any given Sunday.
Yeah, any given Sunday. They could beat the Eagles and then, like I said, and then lose to, I don't even know what winnable games they have besides the Raiders. The schedule's but yeah, they could beat the Eagles and then, get killed by Dallas. Like, that's possible. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you don't know how
they
you
beat the Seahawks last year. The Seahawks won 10 games.
Yeah, I remember. That's very true. Very true. All right, well, we are going to see you next. The game's on Thursday. So we'll still have a show Monday. We'll talk about it. So if you're around on Monday, let us know, because we want you to tell us about what happened in the locker room on Friday.
We'll be there. We'll do it. We'll be there.
Excellent. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Really
Thanks
excited.
for having us.
Yeah, that you're gonna hang out with us each week. You're gonna have to bring us a little bit of flowers. You're gonna have to bring us something that, Sean.
I'll find some positive.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do.
People tell me I'm too negative.
We're gonna have to do. No, you know why, Ryan? Because that's what we normally do when you're not here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Let me just get something out of the way before I go.
Okay.
People always say, like, you want the Giants to lose. The most fun covering the Giants was 2022. The locker room was full. The guys wanted you to tell their stories. Everybody was happy to talk. It's no fun covering a losing team. You think I want to do coaching searches and mock drafts in October? Like, I don't want to do. I want to cover. I signed up to cover football for a career so I could cover the football games, not so I could write hot seat stuff. I want to cover the football. I want the games to matter.
Yeah. No,
I know. I'm right with you. Like I said, the joke is, that we had last week was, so it takes me 2 hours to drive to the game. It takes me 2 hours home. When they play these Monday night and Thursday night games, I'm miserable because I don't get home at 2:00 in the morning. Right. So one of the guys that's on my team here, we call him Truth. He says to me, it's just dawned on me that you've basically driven home for like 18 games, and have only had like 3 wins. I'm like, don't remind me. Because it's like really rough to watch these guys just lose and lose and lose. And then they beat the Chargers. And I was so happy. I was like, wow, I forgot what this feels like.
Yeah. I really thought they were going to have a winning streak. I really thought they were going to beat the Saints.
Well, I'm hoping, and Sean, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm hoping that there is some kind of learning curve in here with Dart and Scattaboo and a healthy Thomas and Burns, who wants to win because Burns is losing all the time. Like, I'm hoping that these guys can figure something out to get them to 7 wins. That's what I'm hoping.
No chance. 7 wins, no chance.
Yeah, I'm not going optimistic anymore. I can't go out unless I see some drastic change or something done, which is probably not.
Maybe if they had neighbors, I'd sign off on that. But 7 wins with this roster is not happening.
With that, it's gonna. And listen, I'd rather be surprised than disappointed. So if I'm thinking the rest of the year it's gonna be rough, I'm gonna watch them every week because I love my Giants. I mean, 45 years of fandom is not going to change me from watching. And the only time I didn't watch was the Joe Judge era, the last couple of games of his era. But no, I'm not going to go in thinking they're going to win games anymore because I'd rather be surprised than disappointed. I get too angry. I get games that they should have won. They should have beat the Saints. So no.
Last question I got for you, Ryan, then I'll let you go and we'll see you next week.
I got to go put my kids to bed.
What's Slayton's injury?
Hamstring.
Hamstring. All right, because Cole. All right, Ryan, we'll see you next week. Sean, you
Thanks,
stay. Ryan, we'll see you next week, my friend. Boom. There you go, Ryan Dunleavy. Make sure you follow him. Make sure you read the post. We'll see him next week. All right, Ryan. Peace. All right, man. That was rough because everything he's saying has so much validity to it that it does. Like here, look, Steve says, embarrassed. We are embarrassed. But like as a head coach, Sean, you can't limp or you're getting fired. If you limp through, you're getting fired.
I mean, again, there's only so much they're going to do. He's right. Like, I mean, if you bring little Jordan Humphrey up, maybe that'll help. If you sign Isaiah Hodgins, that might help, because again, it's the offense, but he's right. Like now that you're 1-4 and about to be 1-5, you can't make a trade for a wide receiver. You just can't. And I don't know if they've gotten insurances that have said they're going to be here next year regardless. I don't know. But there's got to be some urgency at some point. You got to do, and I wanted to ask him, but first night I'm going easy, but I just, there's some thoughts I had. And, I've said this, I think there's too much influence from the higher up that is influencing the last 12 years of why we're seeing what we're seeing. I don't think coaches are able to do what they're able to do. And I don't think Daboll had a choice. I think he had to give up play calling. I don't think it's what he wanted to do. I think it's to save his job. He's like, hey, you either do this, or you're not going to be here. I don't think it was said like that, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
and I'm on the other side of it. I don't think like the owner loves this team like it's not a business for him; it's a life. I don't think
too
he's
much.
out
So
there
that's the
dictating.
problem.
But
Yeah, he loves it, but he's not good at what he does. That's the problem.
But he does. But the thing he's not. That's the point. Is that you're giving him a job, and he doesn't have a job, right?
He is. He's president. He's president. He's not just team owner. He's president. That's a job.
But he's not involved with the day-to-day of the team.
He is. He talks to Daboll every single day. Daboll's come out and said it.
But
not as the owner about what's going on, decisions. It came out. It was said. His title. He's not just owner. He's got a title. He's involved with stuff. Not to mention his nephew, who's
he's not
years,
involved.
12 years, different coaches. There's 3 guys that have remained the constant over the last 12 years during this shit show.
But
you know who they are?
You're putting the owner in the driver's seat. So
why do we blame Jerry Jones and not John Mara? Jerry Jones gets a lot of blame. Why does John Mara get
Jerry Jones is the general manager.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wait, you're saying he's not the
president of
general
football operations. He's the owner and the president of football operations. What do you think the president of football operations does?
The players. He is not telling you. He's not telling you that.
He absolutely is involved with things. Absolutely. So you're 12 years, 3 different GMs, 4 different head coaches, the same results.
Then why do we have Joe Shane? Actually, no, let's turn it around. Shane is the best GM we've ever had then because all the decisions are being made by Mara, is what you're saying. So Shane really is just.
I'm not saying all the decisions, but if you don't think Mara has a voice, if you don't think he's part of the problem, number one, who he hires, how he hires, and the way he hires is the problem. Yes, he loves his football team. Yes, he's just not good. He's not around football. He wasn't around football. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. But he's not like his grandfather. His grandfather knew it. His grandfather was a scout.
I think
or his dad. Sorry,
we can agree to disagree because because when I look at what your normal thread is, it's the coordinator's fault and the owner's fault. Like that's where you always reside in, and there is a lot of blame to go around. I'm the head
coach. I put the head coach too. Shermer needed to be fired. Judge should never been hired.
Normal basis.
Who makes the hiring of the head coaches and the GMs? Who makes that decision, Craig?
Who makes this decision?
Who is responsible? Who do you think was responsible for letting Tom Coughlin get fired and letting Jerry Reese stay? Who do you think signed off on that? Who do you think signed off on that?
That's not what we're talking about.
It's the same decision. It's 12 years. You can't just focus on this regime.
Every owner fires the GM and coach.
I understand every owner. But I'm saying he's not good at his job. He's not good at it. He can't hire the right guy. This is what he does. He's reactionary and not pro-action.
What do you mean? These guys have been around for 5 years.
Let's look at it again. That's what I'm saying. Let me get to my point. You'll understand why. So he hires Ben McAdoo because he doesn't want the Eagles to get him. Ben McAdoo is a complete shit show, immature, whatever. So what does he want? He wants his next coach to be an adult. Came out and said it. Pat Shurmur was hired because we wanted an adult. Pat Shurmur gets fired. What does he do? Hires Joe Judge. Why? Because Joe Judge is more of a disciplinarian because the reports came out that guys were going on golf trips before the season even ended. Judge, now we got to have reactionary. We get a defensive special teams guy. So now he's going to hire an offensive guru, Brian Daboll, which, by the way, I agree with. I thought it was a great hire. But then he meddles in this stuff. But Brian Daboll can't be emotional anymore. He can't yell at players. He can't yell at coaches because Mara and Shane. Oh my God, it was said. There was articles all out. No, I'm not making it up. I don't make anything up. One thing about me is I don't make it up. The articles came down and said Daboll had to tone it down. Absolutely.
He was throwing tablets at the quarterback on the sideline.
I could care less. Let him throw them. It's better than what we're getting now. It's better than what we're getting now.
You're not going. Yes, the owner's going to tell you, dude, don't throw tablets at the quarterback.
John Mara is too worried about optics. He cares about optics.
And he believe what everybody tells you because you believe
everybody tells me.
No, I literally telling every day comes in and says, Joe, do this today. Joe, do that today.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
You're saying that's not what I'm saying. With everything he does.
He's involved with a lot of things. Yes, he absolutely is. And we've seen it. We saw it on Hard Knocks. And yes, I know we let Saquon Barkley raw.
It's produced that way. It's produced that way.
I understand that.
Producing a TV
There's a reason why Barkley wasn't traded this season before. And John Mara was a big influence in that. There was no way he's letting Saquon Barkley get traded.
Well, nobody on their right mind would let Saquon Barkley be traded.
If you're not going to sign him, you're not going to bring him back. Absolutely.
They don't know
John Mara has more.
him.
It's already been out there. It's already been proven. Just listen to John Mara speak. What did he say last offseason? Here's proof. What did he say last offseason? Do you think it's in the best interest of this team for you to be calling plays?
And
what happened?
Yes, I do. That's a question that Dable could say, yes, I do think it is.
He absolutely could. But let me tell you something. You don't think that behind closed doors, Mara had a different conversation with him? So let me say this. Mara believes it. Mara and Shane both come out and said they believe their head coaches should not be calling plays.
You are blaming a franchise on an 80-year-old
12
man.
years.
Guys don't tackle, when guys
too.
don't catch, when guys don't do anything. All you want to do is blame the owners, and he doesn't play. You have
how many times are we going to blame the coach? We blame the coach every year. We blame the coach every 3 years.
I'm not
blaming. Start looking at the top. 12 years. Tim McDonald, Kevin Abrams, John Mara. Problems.
Now, if you want to say you don't like the player personnel, then I agree. I don't always like the player personnel moves, but Mara is not telling Joe Shane what to do. He's not telling.
Absolutely is at certain things. Yes, he is, and he's told other GMs what to do too. Not everything, but yes, certain things.
Shane has come out on record saying that these are his decisions.
Do you think he's going to say the owners? Come on, Craig. Do you think he's going to come out and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's not my decisions. The owners tell me what to do." Come on.
So you would be making it up because there's no proof
by your logic. We're going to blame the coach again. So then what happens? Let's say we get a new regime in here and they're bad again for another 4 years. What's the issue then?
Wait, what's your question? Who's blaming the coach? Now,
who's at blame right now? Who's at fault right now? Who's at fault right now?
Right now?
Yeah, who's at fault
right now it's Shane's fault.
Okay. Is Dable at fault too?
Right now? Today? No.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So there's a GM fault. When Joe Judge was here, was he at fault? Was Gettleman at fault for their crap seasons?
Both?
Shermer. Yeah. So when Shermer and Judge, we'll put them together because they're both under Gettleman.
Shermer didn't get enough opportunity. Gettleman was too behind the times to know how to draft people.
Shermer should have never been hired.
But he could have been a great offensive coordinator, or they could have gave him more time if they gave him more opportunity to work with. McAdoo wanting his job. The problem that the Giants continually have is never going for anything anywhere. Everything they do is we do everything with balance. Everything is balance. So they never get any
responsible for that. Who's responsible for that? Who decides what the team does? Who decides how the team's going to be?
General manager.
And we've had 3 different general managers and the same shit keeps happening. I don't know why you keep excusing John Mara. I don't understand it.
Because he's an old man and it doesn't matter.
It does matter. Listen, Craig, you're old enough to know that the NFL had to step in because Wellington Mara messed things up.
But dude, as good as he was, you're talking about the 60s, dude. This isn't the 60s.
It was the 70s. We got George Young in what, 77? 78? When did George Young come in as general manager?
75, 76.
Okay, exactly.
That's not right now.
Exactly.
The general managers come to work here for autonomy to make the decisions, and Jerry Reese shit the bed because he was getting paid so much money. He was asleep at the wheel from 2012 to 2016. Gettleman, which was the head of the player personnel, who brought in all those guys like Plaxico and Rantrell Roll, but seemed like that he would have been a good fit because he was a good player personnel guy and he was safe. I never said that he deserved the position. They should have went younger there. They didn't. He went to someone
who made that decision to hire Dave Gettleman.
But they all do. You're making out like the New York Giants are the only franchise that the owner makes a decision who's the
That's
GM.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying we're not putting any fault on the owner at all when other organizations put fault on the owners.
Who?
We excuse who? The Cowboys fans give Jerry Jones fault for everything he's done. There's the Carolina Panthers owner
because he's the general
but he's also
manager.
the owner. And there's
But
other.
it doesn't
The
matter.
Carolina Panthers got what they owner. Every
difference-
franchise that is awful gives crap to the owner. We are the only franchise that excuses the owner. I'm over it, and this is not directed at you. I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over it. The owner deserves some blame. He deserves
he's
some
irrelevant
blame.
to me. He's absolutely irrelevant to me.
I can't say how he's irrelevant. He's hiring the GMs and the coaches.
So you're saying then that Shane and Dable are not. So you're saying Shane and Dable weren't the right hire, because that's not what you were saying before.
I'm saying they were the right hire at the time, but I'm saying I believe he also changed how they do things.
Let's Christian, hit me on the 2-minute drill. Let's get through these. Let's get through the questions. Let's answer everybody's question. Hit me with the 2-minute drill. All right, this is where we go 2 minutes rapid fire through everybody's questions. Let's see if we can answer them. Sean, let's see what I can send your way. This one here. Sup boys? Dart looks good. Coaches are trash. Don't know how much longer I can watch. Well, that everyone feels the same way. It is hard. Jake and bake for everybody. It's even harder when you spend all that money on tickets. How about this one, Sean? Wait, hang on, Christian. I got this one first. Nope, not that one. Where is it? Here it is. Ooh, that one. My only hope is Dart being the franchise QB. Sean, is Dart a franchise QB?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I think he's got a really good opportunity. Go ahead, Christian. You can run it from there.
He's holding players accountable. He's doing things, which is good. And listen, guys, know that we're going to do this 2-minute drill. So if you have questions, put questions in the comment section every week. We'll get to them at the end of the show. So this is going to be a regular thing. So we actually get questions from you guys because we want to hear from you as well.
Chapman off, press squad, use him for depth, throw him in the backfield with Scatterboo.
Use him as fullback. I like it. Yep.
Throw a That's not a question, but it's a good point.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, who else has got a question? Let's see. I'm rolling through. After 2 games, he's a franchise QB. No, we're just saying he's got franchise QB qualities. We don't know what
he's a franchise type quarterback. He's a franchise. I believe he can be the franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
He's holding players accountable. He's doing things we haven't seen in a long time. He's got the traits. He's got things that he can do. Yes, I believe he can be the franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he definitely has what it takes. Like, I didn't even, like you said earlier, he didn't really get a good step into that throw that he shorted on.
No, he didn't.
On because like I don't really have a problem with his arm. In fact, if I watch that throw that he threw against, what was his first game? Was it Chargers?
Yeah, it was Chargers.
He threw that one route. I'm trying to think who was it. I guess it was the Theo. Like he can throw that seam route really well between guys. I just think that they don't really know what he is right now. Like I think they need to scheme up like, quicker routes. He was 5th. Dart was 5th in the NFL for release this past Sunday, which is crazy because he does tend to hold the ball a little bit long because he's a runner. So I think they need to scheme up some stuff.
Like we talked about, his footwork impacts his arm. So he didn't step into the throw. So the throw looked like he didn't have a strong arm, other things as well. So yeah, and you can't I mean, we're going to put the game on him. Yes, he had the 1 fumble, but quarterbacks fumble. The 2 interceptions, one was only his fault and the other one was on 4th down. Right. So are we not liking what we're seeing from him so far? Like I don't understand. Like what's not to like about what we've seen from him so far?
Caitlin says, I like seeing Bellinger involved in the passing game in the first 2 drives. Where did he go in the second half?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Kent. We say the same thing. I said along, you got 2 tight ends that are doing well for the first 2 drives and you get away from it. The other thing they got away from too, they got away from the tempo.
Yep.
Up tempo was working and then they decided to slow down a little bit. That's what Dart excels in, is tempo. And I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember seeing many RPOs on Sunday either. Do you?
No.
So he scrambled well, which was good. And he ran when he needed to, but it wasn't design runs, which I don't know why there wasn't more run. Like you got your top receiver out and you're going to be pass heavy. Like explain that to me.
Let's see what else I got in here. Let's see here. Hyatt goes to another team. Don't be surprised he takes off. Do you think that's true? False?
I mean, just because of the way everything else has been going, yeah, but if you're not doing it here, there's something to be said about that, and if you do it somewhere else, I mean, you gotta be listen, I know guys love Hyatt, I know what he can do, I know he's got the speed, but and I defended Hyatt, but dude, like, you gotta be better, you gotta do something. Like,
He looked bad this weekend, especially when it came to that one play where it literally looked like he was just trying to draw a PI call instead of going up
yeah,
and grabbing the ball.
just go up and grab it, stop pushing off, stop doing those things, you don't have the coordination, you can't do it, just go catch the ball.
Do you guys have any information on what the feeling is inside the building is about Shane and Dable? I mean, overall, everything that we talked to, remember, we talked to Marash, we talked to Dunleavy, we talked to Jordan, we talked to Tino. It's always been pretty positive. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been pretty positive that, Shane's kids are running around, the younger ones. Dable's got 5 kids, like both family guys, Dable's a little bit on the intense side, overall, but I haven't heard anything. What's that? AC, 830. I think that's what that is. 8C. I haven't heard anything about any negative feeling on it. I think the vibe is different now that Jones is out of the building, right? Because there was definitely a different type of vibe when Jones was there. I think Dart is Dable's kind of a guy. He's fiery, and that's Dable. I mean, you saw what he did last week, right? Dable's running down a sideline and hit quote, "That's our guy." You know what I mean? Like screaming it. Like Dable's a little bit of an ego guy. He's trying to pump his chest. Like, I made this ball, so he's got to have that swagger. But I haven't heard many negative things. Yes, it's a little bit out there that there is a little bit of attitude, but not in a way where the building doesn't like Dable or like Shane. I have not heard anything. I don't know about you.
And I got no problem with his attitude either. I want my coach to have attitude. I got zero problem with it. I think that's overblown. I have a problem with people who say anything about attitude and there's an attitude. That's how you got to be as a coach. You just got to get the results. He's not getting the results. And I just think his decision-making at times, the roster, like we talked about with Ryan earlier, the game day roster management is atrocious. Makes zero sense.
Yeah. The thing is that, and I'll use Howie Roseman as a benchmark here, guys. I mean, the Eagles were terrible when Howie first got the GM job, and it was because Chip Kelly wanted control. So it was Chip Kelly and Howie, and then Chip got fired, and they actually promoted Howie, and then he sucked for a couple of years. I'm not giving Shane a pass, and I'm not giving Dable a pass. I'm not giving Mara a pass. I'm not giving anybody a pass. It's dismal football. I'm also saying that some of the better guys, look, Andy Reid's been doing it for so long. He's just good at it. Some guys are naturals, like John Lynch is natural at it. Maybe because he's a player, you know what I mean? Or an ex-player. Like, some guys are natural at this. I actually think Shane's pretty decent at it. I just don't know if he's, and I'm not trying to kill the rest of this stuff. I don't think he's got the right people around him. There's some guys that just, I don't know, like when they were all gun-ho on signing Locke, if you guys remember last year, how many times did I say, guys, Locke sucks. This is not the move. Yeah. Like, I think there are some guys on Shane's staff. I don't know if they're holdovers or if they're Mara. You want to talk about me being hard on Mara? That's where I'm hard on Mara. Don't shove any family dudes on Shane. Like, don't give me those guys. That bothers me big time because I don't.
As far as I know, it's all Shane's guys other than Kevin Abrams, Tim McDonald. That's it.
Yeah, well, Abrams is the cap guy, so he doesn't overly bother me. But I don't like the guy Shane has. Like, listen, everybody wants to rave about Brandon Brown being great. Brandon Brown is his right-hand man. It doesn't look good for Brandon Brown either, Well, it was Sunday. It wasn't a Chick-fil-A. There were in New Orleans. Maybe Bellinger was at Popeyes. Yeah, I don't know, Drew. I don't know what happened to them. Again, we were not a great tight end team. We used the tight end team. You heard Ryan here say it. If you weren't here, Ryan just said it. They did pivot to go to two tight ends. We're hoping we're going to see more of it. Yes. Let's see. Ryan had a good point. Why didn't Shane completely upgrade his offense instead of bringing back the same dudes? All I can say, Cole, is what I said before, and I'm living and I'm sticking by it. That they thought The defense was going to win them games. They were going to score, 17 points a game, 20 points a game. And those guys were going to be better. Thomas was going to be back. You had a rookie quarterback, rookie running back, and they were going to depend on the defense to win. And I think that Bowen is still a disappointment because he doesn't know how to get the most of his personnel. He keeps putting Banks in, and Banks sucks. How is Newbin taking all these? Like, every angle Newbin takes is freaking terrible. How does Holland not have 3 interceptions already? How do we have no sacks this week? I still go on the fact that, like, I'm not blaming the defense because the offense is the Achilles heel cold, but I think they went into the season thinking that the defense was going to help them turn the ball over and win games.
Well, the one that they should have upgraded was wide receiver 2. I said that all offseason. We talked about it in here at nauseum that they should need. I said we should have signed T. Higgins, whoever else. So that's the thing. But the rest of the offense is good. They did upgrade. They got Scatabo as an upgrade to the number 2 back, right? They upgraded the quarterback position. So they did upgrade the offense in more than just one position. The O-line is playing better. They drafted Marcus Bowe, who fills in. He's an upgrade from the swing tackle. It's just a wide receiver 2. That's the problem. And the offense is still hot ass because of the guy, as Cold said, because of the guy calling the plays who has zero feel for the game. Zero feel.
Yeah, we all agree. We all 100% agree. Is like when something doesn't work, he has no ability to pivot to something else. He has no feel for the game. Schoen is a paper guy. He was a paper pusher, not the people guy. The Bills used him as the paper guy. Why the Bills got better when he was gone? Because you can replace the paper guy. I mean, there's some truth, I guess, to that. But the assistant GM is always
he's been in every position. And I mean, he was under Parcells as a scout for Parcells. So no, yes, I agree. You're right, Craig. He was the paper guy there. That's what the assistant GM does, but he's been around football. He's held all the positions, under the GM other than just being the paper guy.
I also think, Steve, and I appreciate the comment, Steve. I also think that
Absolutely.
The assistant GM is always the paper guy, right? Like that's how, like, that's his job until he gets to be the non-paper guy. And the Bills got better because, again, you got a head coach that was a defensive coordinator for the Eagles, good franchise, comes over. He's got a slamming, quarterback. They're pumping tight ends out of the building. I mean, there was a lot of good things happening in Buffalo.
And no offense, Steve, great point, great question. But can you say they got better? Because they didn't make it to a Super Bowl. They got just as far as they did when Shane and Dayball were in Buffalo, AFC Championship. So I don't know that they're getting better per se until they win a Super Bowl or make it to the Super Bowl. Can you say they got better after those 2 guys left, right?
I do agree they got better. They're more consistently better. I do believe that they're a more consistent team and they're a threat.
When you say better, what do you mean by? Yeah, but they were that way when Shane and Dayball were both there.
I agree with him there. I do agree with him there. Okay. I do think they're just a better team. Not because they left. They just better now. Just turns out they're not there.
Well, and Josh Allen got older, and when you get older and more mature, you're going to get better too.
He'd be a better player. I thought a DB coach was an upgrade. Yeah, I can't. I'm missing, man. Banks makes everybody look bad right now. Banks is making everybody look bad. I can't figure this cat out at all, but he can be a returner because he can fly as a returner.
He does.
When you play prevent and your corners are 5. Dude, that was a big complaint I didn't even bring up. Like, I really do like Adebo, but man, they just throw all day on Adebo. Yeah, I watched him literally against the Chargers. He was right in front of me because my seats are in the lower bowl. He's at 10 yards, and during the cadence, he's dropping another 15. So Drew, it's a perfectly great point. The DB coach, and back to Cole's point a minute ago, the DB coach is not helping Adebo out at all. Adebo is 15 yards off in his zone. Is too deep all the time. I can see it when he lines up.
That's a Bowen thing. And they're playing man a lot. They're playing man more than people realize. They're playing man a lot of the time.
I'm sure. But right now, if you're going to look to pick on something, and just answering Drew's question is, you're not going to be able to play. It looks like they're in a prevent defense because Adebo is starting at 10, and before the ball is snapped, he's at 15. So if you're a smart offense, And a Rattler already said that the scheme is
easy
sophomoric. Yeah. So, but I think the DB coach needs to work with the Debo a little bit more. I also heard one of the other live videos that Banks playing wasn't Bowen's decision, and that's being sorted. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Well, Ryan kind of said that earlier, that it was a higher up decision. It was coming from Shane with that as well. Yes. He said that. Yeah, he said that earlier.
Yeah,
he's saying that's coming. He said that was coming from above Bowen. Banks Banks rotating from. Yeah, but the fact that he's playing and they were rotating and they've been rotating all year was not Bowen's decision. That's coming up above. It's a Shane and Daboll decision.
And it's possible, but I will say he got 8 snaps. How much is he really playing? Like I think that's a little nitpicking. He's playing 8 snaps. He's not playing.
Yes, against New Orleans, but the rest of the year he's been playing. He's been rotating with Flott up until New Orleans, and every time he's in, like at this point, I don't know if you can play him at all.
I'm with Cold on this one. I've been this way since last year, and Carl Banks definitely agreed with me. You can't have a DC too stubborn to adjust. 1 minute he says I needed to be better, and then he goes out running the prevent. I'm 100% with Cold on that. I said it last year. Banks backed me up on it, and I said it every week is just way too carbon copy off the week before.
I don't disagree. And listen, but they're not playing prevent. That's the thing I want to put out there. Is they're not playing prevent. Yes, against the Cowboys, they're playing man. They're playing aggressive. I mean, they're playing man more than we thought. Everybody thought this was going to be the bend don't break, but they're playing man. Yes, they're playing some cover 6, what our guys can't figure out apparently, and some other zone. But when you look at what they're playing percentage wise, the higher percentage is with man. But I'm not scapegoating Bowen because I said it was going to be hard on this year. But until you give up 19 points, you don't expect to lose a game. Like you don't, right? Like you give up whatever they gave up in other games. You don't expect to lose a game. So yes, we have issues with the defense, but the offense is still the major problem. The major problem.
We know that. We know that. But again, that's why I was saying we can't fix it. But you got to at least say to yourself, the offense cannot be fixed without Neighbors. You're not going to be fixed. So if you want to win football games, the defense has to fill the gap. That's it. Or you sit around and wait for the offense to do something. And we all know that's not going to happen when Wan'Dale Robinson and Bo, what do you call it? Collins is your wide receivers. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Let's not fool ourselves. The Giants can win by turning up the pressure and just bashing running backs and quarterbacks, and turnovers will come. We already know the offense is a 3.
But here's the thing: you can't be blitzing 60% of the time. Like,
but you
just can't do that.
You can only be hypothetically you can't, right? But because, I guess what I'm saying is, if you want more of the same, then no, you can't. You just accept the fact that you're going to lose, and that's how you just go through the motions. Or you take the chances knowing you're going to lose because your offense can't compete, and you go for it. Because you have one or the other. Go through the motions and lose, or take a shot at being risky like the Tampa Bay Bucks, like the Ravens, like the Seahawks, like the Giants, like the Bears.
Yeah, but they're not blitzing 50% of the time. What they're doing is disguising coverages. The problem is that when our blitz ratio last week
was like 60%.
The blitz rate for who?
For
the Giants?
Yeah, I have it here somewhere.
Yeah, and we blitzed 6 against the Chargers or against the
Chargers,
the Saints.
Chargers.
Yeah.
I didn't pull the one against the Saints yet because it's got.
I mean, they were bringing different things. I don't know what it is. I'm not this. No, I'm saying no, probably not like that. I'm just saying I'm not. Listen, Bone is definitely a problem. You got to change something. You got to disguise. You got to do something. That's what it is. The creativity. That's the issue that I have.
Yeah,
creativity.
And again, I'm with you. I just know that the offense is not going to get fixed. So the only way to win games is is turnovers, hitting the quarterback, and just playing super aggressive defense and hope something goes your way. Because the offense is going, this is what's going to happen. Listen, I like Dart. I like Scatterboo. But if you think you're going to run the juice on these guys, you're going to get them hurt. If Dable thinks that he's going to win 7 games with Scatterboo and Dart, the way he's running them, they're not going to last.
But yeah, I agree. But here's the problem. What's going to start happening? This is what happened with New Orleans. Then they got the ball out quick. So you can blitz, you can get pressure. Listen, it's not like Rattler was standing back there for 4 or 5 seconds without any pressure. He was getting the ball out quick. So the pressure was there. You can see the pocket breaking down. He just got it out. So the problem is, as Cole said, the creativity. You got to disguise something. Rattler knew where he was going to go right off the snap. He knew what the coverage was. You want to fault something, fault this. A quarterback who was 0-10 comes out and blasts you and says, you're not good. You don't disguise anything. We can read it better than we can any other defenses out there. And then you come out and do the same thing and don't disguise the thing. If I'm the defense coordinator, I'm like, you know what? You come out and say this, I'm going to show you that I know how to disguise to make you look foolish. He didn't do that. He's just relying on his 4 guys. And if the 4 guys can't get there because the quarterback's getting rid of it quick, then you got to make an adjustment. And that goes offensively and defensively. This coaching staff does not make adjustments. Now, again, I'll give them credit because they only scored 3 points in the second half. So kudos to him for that.
Well, remember, they missed 2 field goals.
Well, yeah, but they were 50, 52, 54. So that's not like a gimme field goal that they missed.
I like Joe Brady, by the way, Cold. I think Joe Brady, is going to get himself a good gig this year. I do want to address Vinny's because Vinny's been talking about this all week long.
Listen, and Allen probably should have won the MVP when Daboll was there too. Let's be realistic, but you know who he's going against every year.
Mahomes. The NFL is not going to let that happen. Here's the thing about Kafka running Daboll's offense, and Vinny, I think you and I have already chatted about this a couple times. Here's the deal. I don't love Daboll's offense because I didn't love it in Buffalo. And the Buffalo offense was built on a pass-catching tight ends and what I would call the Smurfs. Wide receivers under 6 feet tall that were all about yak. Okay? That's why you always see Wan'Dale Robinson running 1 yard short all the time because he's going to throw it to you at the sticks and then he's going to expect you to shake a guy, make a guy miss, and go downfield. He did it with Beasley and he did it with McKenzie, and then he had Knox as the tight end. I don't like the offense. Never did like the offense, okay? However, what I can say that I've kind of changed my tune a little bit on, Vinny, is that as much as I don't love the offense, you got 10 touchdowns and 1,200 yards out of Neighbors, and you got 1,000 yards all-purpose out of Tracy. It can be done when Dable's calling his own offense, okay? When Kafka has zero feel for the personnel on his team, and he's got zero feel on what's happening in the game. Do I need slants? Do I need screens? Do I need middle screens? Like, the things he does are so robotic. Like, this is where I insert this play. Like, there's no crossing routes. I said that about Russ. Well, if you're giving up and saying Russ can't throw the middle of the field, the guy's a 10-time Pro Bowler. He didn't just throw bombs for 10 years. Like, you're just giving him a pass. Russ can't do it, so let's not call it. Like, you have to force the quarterback to make the plays. That's why he gets paid. So you have to put in the slants, the go routes, the out and ups, the crossers, the digs, the rubs, all of them. Got to put them in, right? Got to put them in. So to your question is, yes, it's Dable's offense, but Kafka's not running it like Dable. Kafka's never done anything for this team. I don't really know why he's here. No quarterback has gotten better with Mike Kafka here. Let's take couple more, and then we're going to rock and close this sucker up. We've been on here forever. Spags has a high blitz rate. What's up, Rob? Yes, he does. And, he's got some, when you got Chris Jones, you could do a whole lot, right?
And what's his blitz rate? I know you said high, but what's his blitz? Because we looked at before, and Bowen's blitz rate was fairly high too. So, and again, I'm not defending Bowen but I'm saying let's put things in perspective. Like, how high do you want it to be?
Yeah. I'm just looking to see if there's any more questions jammed in
Especially
here.
when we got safeties who can't make a play. You can't blitz and go like there's only, you know what? And when he blitz, like when your middle linebackers and when your safeties are not making plays, it is hard to blitz a lot. Sorry. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
Right?
and right now there's a little bit of growing pains because Newman was hurt all last year, and Holland is new, and they're both very good players, but there's some definite growing pains between these guys right now, right? Because there should be more plays being made by the safeties. Spags is a 30%
Oh, look
in
at that.
terms of blitz rate. Wow, wait, that's this year, current this year. You know, that's impressive that his guys can get there in without a blitz rate. We don't have that kind of talent. It's Dex, right? So up front. So you need to make sure that Carter and Tibbs and Burns are getting in there.
And these guys got to start asking for holding calls on them. They got to start.
Yeah.
They got to start doing it because they're getting held a lot.
Dude,
They got to do it.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the guy had a fit. He's first of all outside the shoulder pads. That's holding. 2, grip. 3,
Right.
pull it over his head and then arm bar him. And you're telling me you don't see this stuff. So
there was one play. I think it was Roy Robertson Harrison, who the guy literally grabbed his shirt, like not his jersey, but the shirt, and they don't call it. Like why? Because it's not the jersey. It's still a part of him. Like it was. I couldn't believe it. It was so obvious on TV.
It still has to be. It has to be outside the armpits, on the shoulder. If his hands are outside, then they're supposed to call it. Anything.
He was behind him and grabbed the jersey or grabbed his t-shirt, his undershirt from behind, and they didn't call holding on it. Like, what are you doing?
All right, Cole, you're going to be the last one. You're playing Burns like that. He's that kind of talent, though. I believe it. I believe that Burns could burn and be that guy. I want to see him. I don't know if Burns could beat Chris Jones. They're different players, if that's what you're referring to. But we have the talent. I just think, again, we need turnovers. We need sacks. We need fumbles. We need aggressive defense. I don't know. Like, where's the safety blitz? Where's the corner blitz?
They brought some safeties. They brought some corners. They've done it. We need more guys to play like Burns and Tibbs. And yes, Tibbs has been playing, and Dex. They've been playing with fire. Well, Dex is still not 100%. So, but Burns and Tibbs have been playing with fire. I know we say this and that. Even they're playing. We don't have enough guys. Burns, Tibbs, Neighbors, Scat, and Dark are the 5 guys who play with fire and energy. That's it. That's it.
And you guys were killing a lot of you guys out there in Twitter land are killing Okereke for being washed up. And I was saying, he leads the league in tackles, but a lot of them are, they are not in the hole, right? Because he's not been up in the hole. And I'm wondering if that's the defense or that's how they have him playing it. Musau is not an NFL, and Ryan said that he was one of his
he did play
studs. And the dude's not an NFL linebacker. Like, I mean, he is just like, they're dragging him for 5 yards. Like, he's just not big enough. Or maybe it's because he's a rookie. But right now, he's not big enough, and we don't have a linebacker that can get up in the hole and stuff it. So they definitely miss a younger, healthier Okereke. They definitely miss McFadden. They definitely don't have any backups to put in there. Musau is what you got, but he's not an every down. He's definitely not a 3-down linebacker. He might be a 2-down linebacker, but he never, and I don't, again, maybe it's the scheme, man. These guys never step up in the hole. They're always catching tackles.
It's the new way of teaching, and it's not just a Bowen thing. It's across that's what other people are teaching it too. It drives me crazy. Like, take on the block, shed the block, make the tackle. These guys are just looking to blow it up and free up somebody else to make the tackle. And that's the problem. Like, your linebackers should be making tackles. That's and they should be making it closer to the line of scrimmage, not 5 years deep. Yeah. And listen, Okereke's been struggling in pass coverage. So, something's not right with him, because that was one of the things. He was a sideline to sideline linebacker. So either his back is not fully healthy. I don't think it's the age thing just yet. Something is And we know he starts slow too. He's done it every year he's been here, right?
He does normally start. Yes, that's very accurate. So we can only hope. But again, you're on game 5, so if he's going to turn it on, it's going to be now.
He's got it. Yeah.
If is Banks being misused? Gangster wants to know if Banks. No, Banks is not being misused. They have tried him playing man. They've tried him playing zone. They've tried him. No, he's not being misused. He's just. I don't know if it's an IQ thing. I don't know if it's a discipline thing. He's never locked in. He's never locked in.
At this rate, you might want to try him at safety since he can't turn his head. By the way, Ryan tweeted out this earlier too. Bowen said that they're teaching these guys to turn their head around and they're just not doing it. So maybe you try him out at safety since he can't learn to turn his head around and he's already facing there. Who knows with his speed?
How bad is Nubin? Same thing. I'm not really sure yet. It's too easy to judge him right now because I just don't think this is just me. I know Nubin's a good player. I know Holland's a good player. I don't feel like anybody right now is flowing in this defense. Like they're always in the wrong spot. They're taking bad angles. Like, I don't know. Like maybe Nubin just needs more time because he was hurt all last year. Like I don't think Nubin's a bad player. He could be being played out of position, like, because they brought Holland in. Because they don't really play like strong and weak. They don't really play them that way.
They don't. And Nubin was a ball hawk in college. You know, like, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm ready for everybody's got to go. I mean, at this point.
Why didn't Bowen put more guys to fit his scheme? That I can't answer that. Because I think Bowen doesn't really have a scheme. I think his scheme sucks. I mean, guys just don't look good in his scheme.
Well, Nubin was a guy he wanted. I think he was high on Nubin, so that fits his scheme. And then the other guys have big contracts. Who else are you going to get rid of to bring in some of Bowen's guys, right? Like Okereke was a big offseason signing, right? Like, I think he was limited with who he could bring in. Drew Phillips was a guy he was really high on. If I remember correctly, right? So I think there's some other guys, but you were limited with who, and he probably liked Paulson Adebo, right? So
I don't dislike Adebo. I don't see it right now. But thanks for it was a great show. You guys were awesome. We'll be back. Listen, the game's on Thursday. If I can corral some of these guys, maybe we'll jump on Friday. I doubt it. Friday's a mess for me. These guys, like maybe we'll do some kind of recap on Saturday. I don't even know what we're gonna do, but we will be here Monday with Ryan Dunleavy. In case you joined us a little bit late. Ryan Dunleavy. Someone actually gave us kudos back here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Someone gave us kudos for having Dunleavy. I think it was Mark. Gave us a shout out about having Dunleavy on. He'll be with us here every single Monday. So if you want to hear what goes on in the locker room, tune in to Rush every Monday, 7:30. Dunleavy be here for an hour, and then we'll take your questions and stuff. So thanks for hanging out. Bang. We'll see you guys next week. I am not as doom and gloom as Ryan. I think I do think there is some opportunities for the Giants. I'm not quite sure right now where it's going to come from because I'm a little worried they're going to try to ride Scatterboo and Dart too hard, and these guys are going to get hurt. Like, there's got to be more. There's got to be there's just got do you agree, Sean, that there's got to be more offense from other players?
Well, they had it. They had the tight ends, and they got away from it. And listen, the offense should be around Dart. Well, when Tracy comes back, that'll help, right? So the offense is going to have to be around Dart, Scatterbo, Tracy, the two tight ends. You can't revolve it around anyone else. You just can't. And then hope other guys get open.
Last question I have for you. Do you want a receiver? Do you want a receiver? Do you want Beckham? Do you want Hodgins? Do you want any of these guys?
Bring it. Yeah. I mean, listen, here's what I'd say. Elevate Lil Jordan Humphrey. Bring in Hodgins because he understands the offense. He can do it. He's a great route runner. He understands zone concepts, how to get open. So, yeah, I don't know why they don't like him. I don't know if it's because of his speed or lack of speed. But, yeah, I want somebody who can run a route and has good hands. And Hodgins has that. And Lil Jordan Humphrey showed me some things in the in the preseason. So yeah, elevate him.
All right, fair enough. I was actually hoping Turbo Miller might make a run.
I don't know what the deal is with him. If he's not, maybe he's not getting the offense. He's not understanding it because he was out of football for an entire year before they signed him 2 years ago. I don't know, but it's a head scratcher to me. He should be up. When you got 2 running backs, he should be up. Get that extra speed.
I was also hoping. No, I that's a good take. I was also thinking too. I know it's too late, of course, because he's already on a roster. But like, man, like Hunter Renfrow wasn't even playing football, right? Like,
yeah,
like I was hoping like the Giants would get lucky and find a guy like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But not in the cards. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bang. We'll see you guys next week.